Hey guys, welcome back to the Film Fan Club. My name's Sam Carrico, and today we're talking about The Crown, episodes 4 through 6, still in season 1, chugging along with it. As you know, Elizabeth's now the queen, her father has died. This is a spoiler review, by the way. I hope I made that clear in the last review, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out the last review, check that out. I'll put it in the link in the description below. But yeah, Elizabeth is now the queen. She's married to Philip. She's kind of been going through a little bit of problems with Philip because it's kind of weird having your wife be the queen, and those problems do get more so explored in episodes 4 through 6. But what I noticed is that Matt Smith is very likable in this show. I failed to mention that in my last review because I was so caught up in just kind of explaining how the plot was going at that point. And I really like him in the role of Philip. He does seem like a pompous asshole, and he plays that well. He played that kind of similar role in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies well, but he's able to kind of play a softer side and just a generally more charming and likable side to Philip Mountbatten, is the way I've been told I should try to pronounce it. So I do like him learning about he learns to fly in like episode 4 and that. That's a nice little subplot with Captain Townsend, and we learn more about Captain Townsend in like episode 6. There's a whole thing going on there, and I really like the 50s setting too. Just the whole attention to detail. Man, they really go all out on the budget in this show, and whether it be having them fly up in the air or just the architecture and the actual on location shooting and the attention to detail whenever they do build the sets. And there's this really dynamite tracking shot in episode 4 or something like that it's so cool. I can't even imagine. I think it was like 45 seconds long or up to a minute long how it goes. And I love tracking shots in general. I love the movie Birdman, but this was just really well done too because it had a lot of things going on in the shot too. So it must have been just a nightmare to coordinate, but that was really good too. But on to the plot, okay? They focus on this huge fog. I'm learning a lot about the 1950s England because in episode 4 it's all about the fog that overcame London for a few days in 1952, and Winston Churchill was really incompetent when it came to dealing with that. Oh, I was also told that I guess Winston Churchill's half American, so that's why he seems more American. Makes sense. Thanks guys for commenting on the last video. I appreciate that. I always love getting feedback, and you guys have been very helpful too with understanding this kind of otherwise complicated to an American political system. So yeah, there's what really took Winston Churchill, I guess, to deal with the fog. I mean, this is all dramatization, but we had this secretary subplot, and I was really wondering where's this secretary subplot gonna go, and she dies, I get, and then that is what makes Winston finally want to deal with it. And he even says, well, we can't stop the fog, that's God, but we can, try and help the hospitals and stuff. And I guess they didn't really even do an act, a bill or anything that would, clean energy or anything like that, or clean air at least, or regulations until like 5 years later is what it said at the end of the episode. But man, it just really shows that Winston Churchill, he was maybe great in the war, but man, he was kind of incompetent outside of that. And I really like, this is what I really like getting into, is like this kind of House of Cards kind of diabolical like chess plot kind of thing where these people are colluding behind the back, moving around the scenery, and they leak the story about how Winston Churchill is kind of the situation with the coal and everything that's been going on, and Elizabeth has to learn kind of about being neutral in these few episodes. It's really testing different parts of her character, but one thing that I think was a little bit weird was it seems like in each episode she just kind of has to give up stuff, and she doesn't really gain anything. I mean, she's the queen and all that, but I'd like to see her, and they kind of hinted at the end of episodes, like the last block that I was covering, but it seemed like that they were kind of hinting at her, stepping up and being like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, then I want this, and kind of getting some ends to her means. But it seems like she's kind of been, each episode, or at least 2 of these 3 episodes, 4 through 6, have been about her, being like, all right, well, the government wants me to do this, but I'm going to say I want to do this, all right? Okay, I'm not going to do that, and my family is suffering for it, and I look like a bitch, and it's like I'd like to see her step up a little bit, kind of, especially because I mean, just the emasculation of Philip Mountbatten, and then the way she treated her sister. It's really starting to drive a wedge in the family drama. And I know that they all, because I looked it up at whenever I was watching the first three episodes. I know they all are still, she's still married to Philip, and I mean, of course, they're not going to like leave each other or anything. It is real life, or based on real life. But it's one. I just want to see some of how this conflict gets resolved, and of course, that we'll get there, I'm sure. Then we get more George flashbacks, so I guess we are going to be having Jared Harris kind of around for the rest of the season. And we do get a little bit of glimpses of Elizabeth taking control. Like she puts Philip in charge, but of the coronation, but then he still has to kneel and all this stuff. So it just um, seems like they're back to square one. Is like she tried to give him some help, and then really, nope, you gotta kind of have to cower to me. I'm your queen. And that must be just a crazy dynamic too. I mean, that's your wife, but also, I mean, you want to be equals in a relationship. And I don't want to be sexist, say like the man's better than the woman or anything. No, men and women should be equal in a relationship. But whenever you're put into a power dynamic where one person is literally, over you, and because the government says so, that's just a crazy dynamic, I could imagine. So it's really interesting getting to see that. Of course, we have Elizabeth's sister Margaret in episode 6, and she is with Captain Townsend, who was married to and has an estranged wife. But I like these scandals too, because it's just really fun getting to see all this happen and know that it was real. This stuff was real to an extent too. I mean, the Captain Townsend subplot, and I mean, it really sucks. I mean, they have to be away from each other for like 2 years, and for Elizabeth to just be like, oh well, just wait. That's kind of cold. So Elizabeth's kind of starting to become a little bit more cold-hearted, sending Margaret's lover, Captain Townsend, away is what I have written down in my notes. I keep looking at my notes. I apologize for looking down, but there's just so much in these 3 episodes that, because it's so historically accurate, really kudos to the writers for being able to get all these details down and just being able to pay attention to these different. I mean, each of these stories, I feel like you could have made a movie, a biographical film about Elizabeth II, and just taken any of these episodes plot and make it into a full movie. But they're able to do that. Each episode's about an hour, so you almost get like a short film with each episode about Elizabeth II. So it's really cool getting to see that, and I really love the cast as well. Claire Foy, I believe her name was. John Lithgow is really great as the asshole Winston Churchill. Matt Smith is just charming and charismatic. Really makes me wish that Doctor Who was still on Netflix, but it really makes me miss watching that show. But I'm really enjoying The Crown, episodes 4 through 6. That's my recap and review of that. What did you guys think? I do think that the episodes kind of, I mean, there was 2 out of 3 of them, or 2 out of 3 of them where it kind of started with Philip doing something, and then there's some temporary government crisis. That's a 1-episode plot that intertwines some family drama where Elizabeth tries to do something that helps her family, but then she fails and ends up looking like a bitch. And then it cuts back to Philip doing the same thing at the end of the episode. So I noticed there is some kind of, rhythm to these episodes, a little bit, or a couple of them. There's a little bit of a rhythm that I noticed, a pattern, if you will. So I'd like to see it break away from that a little bit, but also expand on these problems that have started to be hinted at so far. I really want to see shit hit the fan as we go into episodes like 7 through 10. So I think we only got one more review for me, guys. I'll do one more video on The Crown, Season 1, and that'll be it. Make sure you check out my reviews of Black Mirror as well, and I just reviewed Doctor Strange, Monday movie news, all that stuff is coming up as well. Thanks a lot, guys. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't yet, and you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Samuel D. Carrico. You guys have a good week, and I'll see you next time.